Good morning. Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul. We are here today to say some nice things about ourselves. And we're going to do that in the form of some I am statements. I'm going to pull a card, and this card is going to have some beautiful, wonderful, affirming messages on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the card. What I'd like for you to do is say, I am that affirmation. As we affirm these things together, we are making them more real in our world. We are taking control of our internal dialogue. We are taking control of our actions. And as we take control of these actions, we are completely changing our lives. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to completely change our lives today. So good morning to you, Amanda, Lauren, Frank. It is fantastic to see you three here today, and everybody else who joins in. I know that there are going to be a number of other folks who are joining in today. So yeah, we're here to affirm some awesome stuff about ourselves. So let's begin. I'm going to pull a card, and we are going to affirm it together. So here we go by pulling an I am card and saying that today I am creative. I am creative. I design my life with beauty and intention. So I am creative. I design my life with beauty and intention. Are you creative? You are creative. You design your life with beauty and intention. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that down. I'm going to put that down in the comments. I'm going to write down that I am creative and that I design my life with beauty and intention. And as I write that down, I am making it more real. Notice how often the words I am come up in our lives. I've said it at least a dozen times already in this one episode. We use the words I am all the time. And as we use them, we define ourselves. And as we define ourselves, we also limit ourselves or we expand ourselves depending on the words that follow the words I am. And that's why it's so important. The words I am are inherently creative. And so we design our lives through the I am statements that we say about ourselves. And so when we feel like we are being limited, we are often being limited by our own self-concept. And when we feel like we are expanding because of our own self-concept. And so I am creative today. I am creating my own life through the words that I speak. And so are you. You are also creating your own life through the words that you speak, through the things that you choose to do, the way that you choose to spend your time and energy today. And I want to thank you so much for choosing to spend your time and energy right here, right now with me, because by doing so, you are expanding. And so we are expanding into creativity today. And I want to say good morning to Amanda, Lauren, Frank. I want to say good morning to Shauna, to Brenda Jean, to Carly. It is wonderful to see all of you here this morning and to create this positive space on the internet. The fact is that this world has a whole lot of negative messages for us, and that we typically have, we are typically encouraged to say lousy things about ourselves, and we are told lousy things about ourselves. It's considered socially acceptable to say to follow the words I am with something awful, with something that we would never say to anybody else. And when we're doing that, we're creating limitation, we're creating lack, we're creating insecurity. Why would we create these things? Why wouldn't we just design our life with beauty and intention? Why wouldn't we create expansion for ourselves? And so that's what we are here today to do. We are creative. We design our lives with beauty and intention. And each and every one of us is creating right here and right now. We are indeed designing our lives with beauty and intention. So we're here to do that in this moment. Right now, I'm creating this show. I'm creating the Wake Up Call with Maui Paul. And this show has brought me so many tremendous benefits. And not just the benefits that I thought it would bring me. I thought it would bring me some discipline, and boy has it. It's brought me the discipline to get up in the morning and to do this each and every day. It has also brought me a tremendous awareness of just how powerful these words are, because I've always known how powerful they are in my life, But I'll be honest with you guys, I've got 10 people watching right now live. But by the end of this video's lifespan on the internet, it will have been seen by about 200 folks. And how cool that is. I have people come up to me in my community regularly and say, I catch the wake up call, and it has been just profoundly impactful for me. Thank you for doing it. And these are people that I would never expect watch the call. So I am creative, you are creating. And as we create, the creation that we create is not for ourselves. The creation that we create, the life of beauty and intention that we create for ourselves, is not for us. It is for the people who surround us. We get to be this wonderful example for all of the people around us as we create. So I remember that I ran into, when I was in Costa Rica, I ran into some folks who regularly went to Burning Man. Burning Man is an intentional gathering in the desert of Nevada. And basically, it's just like it's a community where people are just radically accepting, radically self-reliant. It's like basically an artist community that pops up in the middle of the desert for like, I think it's about like 1 week a year. These people literally build a city where there is no city. And then they completely tear it down at the end of their event and leave no trace. Talk about creation. But they were talking about living life on default settings. They were telling me that most people live life on default settings, that we are offered something and we take it. And so whatever it is that people or that the majority of the people around us are doing, we also do that thing. And we do it without thinking. And there's a good reason for that. The reason that most people just do what everybody else around them does without thinking about it is because it works. It works well enough. It's not necessarily a path to an enjoyable life or to an actualized life, but it's a path that works. It's a path that gets us through life. And these people were all, talk about radically different. These people were all artists. They were world travelers. But in many cases, you would think that if people were doing things that were completely opposite or completely different than what society at large was doing, that they would experience a whole bunch of failure. And while they had certainly experienced their fair share of failures, the successes that they had experienced through their creativity allowed them to live this exceptional life. And I looked at these people, all of whom were completely different from each other. And I was like, wow, each and every one of them is living an exceptional life. And I think about where they are now. One of them is an international artist. She travels between about 5 different countries, and she makes a living as an artist in like 5 different countries. Another one runs a landscaping company down in Florida, and you would think that running a landscaping company is a reasonably default choice, but this guy also facilitates gigantic parties out in the woods, and his he makes these choices because they allow him to live the life he wants to live. Each and every one of these people consider themselves to be creatives, even if their career isn't necessarily art based. So this card is an invitation for us to design our lives, to make the choices that are right for us and not necessarily the choices that are the standard ones that everybody else makes. Maybe the standard choice is right for you. There's a lot of standard choices that are right for me, and I make them. But there are also some very, very important things to me that I make a choice that's different than the people around me. And that choice brings me benefits, tremendous benefits, but it also has costs. And lifestyle design is all about figuring out how to create the systems and the mindsets necessary to offset those costs. So we are creative today. You are creative. We are creating this positive space on the internet, and it's nice to see. It's nice to see that you've joined with us, Jeff or Jeffrey and Brenda Jean and Jin. Nice to see you here, Jin and Tonic. Jelly, it's great to see you here as well. Thank you guys so much for being here on the internet with me today and to just being awesome. I'm going to be back at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning for another wake-up call, 9 a.m. Eastern time if you are in a different part of the world. But 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will return with another one of these positive affirmations, and we will continue to affirm wonderful things about ourselves. So thank you for being here. I'm going to let you guys get over to your day. I'm going to get to mine. I have a lot of creating to do today, and I'm going to go over to a friend's house and help her assemble a piece of furniture and have a wonderful dinner and just do a whole bunch of fun creative things today. But I want to say thank you so much for being here. and for just helping me to be creative today. You guys saw that I have a physical copy of this deck. This deck is a real thing, and you can have this real thing in your house if you so choose. If you'd like one, you can send me a private message, and I will tell you how you can get a deck. These deck contains 36 cards, all of which have a beautiful, positive, affirming message on them, and they basically allow us to really have these physical reminders in our space. I tell you the truth, once I pull one of these cards, I put it in a place where I can see it so that I am reminded all the way through the day that I am creative, and that every time that I make a decision with that base level knowledge of my own creativity, so that when negative self-talk starts to creep in, I have that positive reminder in my world. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. Until then, I love you and care about you. Believe the things that I say about you, and believe that those things are true. Talk to you soon. Aloha from paradise.